In an explanation, Stassi Schroeder says that she turned down numerous celebrities from Vanderpump Rules for her wedding since she was fired by Bravo. Stassi Schroeder explains why she declined the invitations of so many of her former co-stars to her Italian wedding after being fired from Vanderpump Rules. Beau Clark and Stassi just celebrated their second wedding anniversary. After being fired 2 years prior, she got married in a private ceremony in her backyard, and 2 years later, she finally had her dream wedding in Italy. But the SER team was conspicuously absent from the major event, with the exception of Katie Maloney and Tom Schwartz. After being canceled in 2020, it appears that Stassi has been trying to rebrand and make a comeback during the publication of her new book. Following the revelation by Faith Stowers of Stassi's previous racist remarks directed towards her, she was met with criticism. Fans have discovered previously unreleased podcast episodes and social media messages that highlight Stassi's indifferent stance towards racial and racist issues. Bravo acted quickly to fire Stassi and Kristen Doubt for their roles in calling the police and accusing Faith of a crime she didn't commit after George Floyd's death, which increased racial tension because they believe the show's only black cast member looked like another black woman who also happened to be a criminal. Stassi has remained friends with her former co-stars, particularly those who welcomed kids at the same time as her, even after her firing. Unfortunately, financial restrictions brought on by her termination prevented her former co-stars from attending her second wedding in Italy. On the Skinny Confidential Him and her podcast, Stassi disclosed that it was originally intended to appear on Vanderpump Rules. She described how, when she was still cast in the program, she went looking for the location years ago. However, Bravo refused to pay for the opulent wedding after she was sacked in 2020. Bravo didn't have to pay for this nonsense, Stassi joked. Because it's too pricey, Stassi and Beau had to cut 70% of the guest list, she added. The extravagant wedding that Stassi had planned, complete with an extensive guest list, was instead a 35-person wedding in Rome, in a location that's meant for a ton of people, according to her. Stassi gave her family and friends credit for getting rid of her, and added that everyone was pretty understanding. In order to inform her former castmates that times are tough, we can't have a 200-person wedding. Stassi described how she had to send them a cutthroat email. The only 2 people who attended the wedding were Katie and Tom, who also seemed to be divorcing. Tom Sandoval and Sheena Shea acknowledged that they had not been invited. Kristen wished Stassi well, but she was not invited. Supporters observed that Jax Taylor, who may have been denied permission, unfollowed Stassi on Instagram. Brittany Cartwright, his wife, continues to follow Stassi. Among the former cast members that Stassi still spends out with is Brittany. All of Stassi, Brittany, Sheena, and Lala Kent's tiny ones, who were born a few months apart, have delighted in playdates. It was inevitable that the friendships between the current and former cast members would be impacted by all of the changes made to Vanderpump Rules. The opportunity to be the bigger person and extend an invitation to Stassi and Beau, or to repay the favor and turn down her intermittent friend, awaits Sheena, who is next in line to walk down the aisle.